Hello, I am so glad you are here. I am Jamila McMallow, mindset coach, mentor, wife, mother, and relationship expert. And today I'm going to be sharing with you the top three mistakes I've seen women make when it comes to marrying a good man. So, if you are already married to a good man, or if you desire to be, then this discussion is for you because you're going to be able to avoid these mistakes. Now, just to tell you a little bit more about myself, I've been coaching and mentoring men and women in a variety of professional settings for over 20 years. And in 2018, I narrowed my focus down to transformational coaching for high performing women. And since 2018, I have coached over 100 women and spent probably more than 1,000 hours coaching women on how to have happy, healthy relationships with men. Not to mention the learnings from my own personal story of finding true love after a painful divorce of a 14-year toxic marriage. Now, after that toxic marriage ended, I strengthened my reliance and relationship with God. I took a deep dive into personal development, got the support that I needed, and put in the time and effort to let go, heal, and change my relationship behaviors. Because even though I wasn't the deal breaker in that marriage, I still was not a perfect wife. I still made hurtful mistakes, and I needed to change as well if I wanted to thrive in a normal, happy, healthy relationship with a good man. I did my part, of course, but I still give all the credit to God for blessing me with an amazing man just 1 year after my divorce was final. Now, about 6 months after meeting my husband, we were married. And here we are almost 10 years later, raising our two children and honestly living a life that I just could not have imagined before. I really didn't know that this degree of real, true happiness and love even existed, until I met my husband. So, this happiness and joy that I'm currently experiencing after the storm and turmoil of my past is something that I want for all the women who desire to experience true love and a thriving, healthy, happy marriage to a good man. So, this is exactly why I created my program, Get Real and Heal Your Love Life, where I help my clients to do exactly what I did, become the best version of themselves so that they can have a happy, healthy, passionate marriage where they're already, or whether they're already married to a good man or desire to be. But you might wonder, okay, but how can one program then address the needs of married women and single women? Because they have the same problem. No clue on how to function in a happy, healthy relationship with a good man. So that's the problem that my program solves. If you're already married, your husband may actually be the first good man you've ever been involved with. Your prior relationship history probably includes toxic, abusive, cheating, dishonest men, so on and so on. Now, you, of course, are to be commended for recognizing that you needed to choose someone who was the complete opposite of what you were normally attracted to. However, you forgot that you also had to change your mindset, patterns, and behaviors in order to feel normal in this relationship and not like it's boring, dissatisfying, or unfulfilling. But don't worry, I got you covered in this training, so just keep listening. And of course, if you're single, you'll be able to learn how to avoid the mistakes that I'm about to discuss. So stay tuned. So let's get into mistake number one, and that is believing in the myth of the right man. Now, if you're a Seinfeld fan, then you're familiar with the character of George Costanza. If not, George was basically, he was just a hot mess. His life was always in shambles, and one day he realized that every decision he made was wrong. So he just started making decisions that were the opposite of what he normally would do. Now, as a result of this strategy, he ended up engaged to a beautiful woman, got a great paying job, and completely turned his life around. One catch though, George never upgraded his mindset, his beliefs, self image, and identity to match the amazing life that he'd created. In fact, he found himself feeling miserable because it was so out of alignment with who he believed he was and how his life was allowed to be. As a result, he ended up, self sabotaging to the maximum, and he lost everything. And believe it or not, was actually relieved to be mediocre again. Now, I share that story with you to say that you may just have George Costanza'd your love life by marrying a man who was the opposite of the type of man you typically dated in the past. I mean, you at least had the good sense to know what you didn't want, right? But you thought simply choosing the right man would make everything better and things would just fall into place. However, now instead, you find yourself feeling a little bored, perhaps even dissatisfied or unfulfilled. Maybe you're finding that you're trying to bring drama into the relationship, even a little bit of chaos, so that it feels more normal. Or on the extreme end, you may even feel trapped, like you made a mistake, but confused because you can't pinpoint any good reason as to why you shouldn't be head over heels happy in your marriage. So let me say that my life with my husband is not amazing because he came into my life and saved me from myself. He came into my life because I became the type of woman who knew how to be in a happy, healthy relationship with a good man first. By doing my emotional healing and personal development work and shifting my mindset, beliefs, and behaviors. By doing that first, I was then able to attract an emotionally, spiritually, financially mature and responsible man. And together, we have co-created the incredible family and life we're currently living. Now, did you catch the remedy to this mistake of believing in the myth of the right man in my personal story? Did you notice which step you may have skipped in your story, or the step where you maybe needed to stay on a little bit longer? And that was shifting your mindset, beliefs, and behaviors to become the type of woman who knows how to function in a happy, healthy relationship with a good man. This is exactly what I help my clients to do in my Get Real and Heal Your Love Life program for high-performing women. When I work with my clients one-on-one, they get unlimited support from me. I'm holding their hand every step of the way so that success is inevitable, right? When it comes to doing the mindset and emotional healing work that it takes to become the best version of themselves, the version of them that has the happy, thriving, passionate marriage with their husband that they always dreamed of. In fact, my client's husband, one of my client's husbands, expressed his gratitude for the work that I did with his wife because of how it completely changed their relationship for the better. So, just to summarize mistake number one, it's really that you didn't take personal responsibility and prepare yourself to succeed in this relationship before you got into it. And here's the thing, it's absolutely not too late. It is never too late to heal, grow, or change. Like I said, I help my clients do it all the time and with great success. Now on to mistake number two, failure to communicate. Now, I had another client who suffered from an illness, and she hid the full extent of her symptoms from her husband for years, suffering in silence because she didn't want to be a bother to him or appear to be needy. She felt compelled to always put on a happy face and never felt comfortable being herself. So perhaps you don't feel bored or trapped in your marriage, but maybe you feel unworthy of the man that you've married. You recognize how good he is to you, and you're afraid that you're going to say or do the wrong thing and mess it up. So you hold back and never really share your true, honest feelings with him. Now, this is a huge mistake because ultimately it is a form of dishonesty. You're really pretending to be someone you're not, and you're killing yourself in the process, literally. If this is your way of being, you probably will find yourself eventually suffering from some type of chronic or other autoimmune illness, which is your body's way of trying to tell you to stop hiding and stuffing down these emotions. Because when you put on a mask of being happy and upbeat all the time to make everybody else feel good, you are the one that ultimately always suffers. And what I want you to know and understand is that you are important. Your thoughts, feelings, and emotions matter. And most importantly, your husband loves you and wants to be there for you. In this sense, he does want to be your knight in shining armor. So you have to learn how to trust him with your heart. Now, I was able to help my client do exactly that by helping her to heal the root cause of her holding back and fearing vulnerability, which was parental abandonment as a child. So, just to summarize mistake number 2 of failing to communicate, please do not think that your childhood is in the past. Your unhealed childhood trauma is walking around with you every day in every choice and every decision and in the relationship you currently have with your husband. So this is why this is exactly where we start, and why my Get Real and Heal Your Love Life program is so effective at creating incredible shifts and results for my clients, because we deal with the root causes of the feelings you have and the behaviors you're displaying in your relationship. Okay? And this actually leads nicely into mistake number 3. Okay? And this is not healing your past. You can really see now how this mistake, or the remedy to this mistake, is really the solution for all of the mistakes that I've mentioned so far. My client, another client, when she came to me, found herself questioning whether or not she had made the right decision when she married her husband. She knew he was a great guy, but she felt, like out of sorts, and just wasn't happy with what seemed like a lackluster, mundane life. But as we dug deeper and started doing her healing work, we uncovered so much from her childhood that was responsible for why she felt the way she did about her husband and their relationship. Everything from not fully trusting him to feeling like she couldn't express herself freely, and even resenting him for perceived misunderstandings. But by the time our time together came to an end, she felt this, deep sense of connection and appreciation for him. So much so that they actually began talking about starting a family. However, it's not just childhood trauma that must be healed. It's also those previous toxic relationships that you've been in, where you were cheated on, mistreated, lied to, perhaps even abused. All that stuff is still with you and shapes the filter and lens through which you see your husband, even though he is a good man. See, if you believe that all men are untrustworthy, unreliable, or eventually leave, those beliefs don't go away simply because, you chose a man that is none of those things. Consciously, you may know that, but deep down, you don't believe it at all. So, to summarize mistake number 3, if you don't heal your past, you will look at your husband with suspicion, doubt, and create drama and problems where none exist, so that your life begins to fit the narrative your brain believes is what is true and possible for you, and not what is actually true. See, when you get real and heal, you take action to strategically heal the childhood trauma that is directly responsible for how you are showing up in your relationship with your husband. We then work to reprogram your brain with a mindset that is focused on having a successful relationship, healthy communication, and intimate connection. And that's just not sexual, that's emotional. Intimacy has to do with vulnerability and being willing to open yourself up and share your real thoughts, feelings, who you really are on the deepest levels. So whether you are already married to a good man, or desire to be, it is always the perfect time to do your healing work. However, in order to get the best results from healing and shifting your mindset to become a powerful co creator of the happy, healthy marriage you've always desired, you need to participate in the best program for helping women to do this. And it just happens to be my program, Get Real and Heal Your Love Life. It follows my simple 4-step emotional empowerment method to help you heal the childhood trauma that is directly responsible for your relationships with men, shift your mindset, and change your relationship and communication behaviors to support a happy, thriving marriage to a good man. Now, my promise is to partner with you, right? To provide comprehensive emotional and mindset support with a strong commitment to helping you create tangible improvement in your relationship with your husband. Now, keep in mind, I am not a therapist and this ain't no marriage counseling, okay? I'm a coach. So, action and accountability on your part are pillars of my program. And after working with me, my clients, they feel a sense of mental peace and clarity, a newfound attraction and passion for their husband, and they are empowered to co-create a marriage that thrills and excites them both. But now you may be thinking, okay, that sounds great, Jamila, but how do I know that this is going to work for me? Well, in addition to my 20 plus years coaching and mentoring in a variety of professional settings, as I've already shared, I've been a happily married woman for almost a decade, and my husband and I have managed to keep that spark and intimacy alive through challenging times, like the loss of our first son, or the loss of my corporate job, or having a child during the pandemic lockdown. We've been through some stuff. So my point is you're not locking arms with an amateur or someone teaching you from a book, as this is my second marriage. Like I already told you, my first marriage was 14 years of toxicity, which after it ended in divorce, I did the same deep healing work that I'm going to guide you through, which prepared me to have the incredible relationship that I have with my husband today. I know my process works for my clients because it worked for me first. I also offer premium unlimited coaching for my one-on-one clients, which means you have unlimited access to me, holding your hand, like I said before, every step of the way as you do the deep emotional work to turn your marriage around in months, not years. See, I am committed to helping you create the results you desire to experience in your marriage. Now, if I do invite you to work with me, it's only going to be after you complete a very thorough, confidential application process where I gain a deeper understanding of your unique challenges and an action plan for creating results. If I can't help you, I'm not going to take you on as a client. But now you also may be wondering, well, how long is all this going to take? Well, you should know that I hate wasting time. And I also cannot stand the cope and hope strategies that teach women that they have to sit and marinate in their negative feelings indefinitely and simply learn how to live with being unhappy. No, you've been dealing with your feelings of dissatisfaction, disconnection, unworthiness, and so on for long enough. This is why I absolutely love my emotional empowerment method and the process I created, because it is accelerated inner healing, getting to the root of the problem right away so your suffering stops. Most of my clients start experiencing transformation in just the first few weeks of working with me because they are firmly committed to creating their results and they trust the process. Now, I typically work with my clients for 3 months or 6 months, depending on how much time I recommend is necessary to resolve the challenges they are experiencing in their marriage. However, because of the high level mindset and emotional coaching that I provide, many of my clients choose to continue working with me beyond these initial months because they value the transformational impact working with me has had on their life overall, and they want to keep the momentum going. They actually have the opportunity to become one of my exclusive clients for life who have access to special pricing, events, and more. So you too can enjoy the type of breakthroughs and success my clients are experiencing and turn things around in your marriage today. The next step is for you to watch and read all of the testimonials on my client results page on my website, and then click the Book Your Call with Jamila button to book your call with me today. I want to thank you for listening. I hope you got the value that you came here for, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. You take care of yourself.